Hello and welcome to another incredibly exciting unboxing video with me, Andy, from the blogaboutgadgets.com. And today, well, I'm possibly being a bit disingenuous. I am actually quite excited about this. Today, as you can see, we are unboxing Gloomhaven, the all-new, fresh off the boat monster adventure board game by Childres. Can't actually see his name on the box because the box is so big. Anyway, yes, so this is Gloomhaven, the cooperative adventure game, and we're going to be taking a look at that. This is literally fresh off the boat, just arrived today from China, courtesy from China via Germany. This is one of the first, or the first set of the game funded by Kickstarter. So it's been quite some time in the coming. So I'm just getting a few bits and pieces up on my other screen. So yes, Gloomhaven. It's basically a board game, cooperative game, between 1 to 4 players, the one being the important bit and why I'm interested in it. Another thing that's quite interesting about it is it takes place in a, well, the description says a persistent, ever-changing campaign world, and yeah, basically as you play the game, things will change, characters will change, the world you're playing in changes, and that all gets tracked as part of the game. So it's not just a case of pick a scenario, play a scenario, and then play another one. It all comes together in one big story. Anyway, let's start off with a look at the box. As you can tell by the lovely light reflection there, I really do need to move that light. It's quite a glossy, shiny box. No shrink wrap on it. This is literally how it's come out of the box. The box I got it in was well padded, had some nice foam insulation, foam padding around the box, so you can't actually see. The box was, the packing box did have some dents in it from the straps and transit. None of that has made it through to this box, so the packing there was pretty darn good. It's a very big box, so let's see if I can, am I zoomed? No, see, I'm already zoomed out as far as I can be. So yeah, there's the bottom of the box there. So you've got another sort of 1.5 inches or so below her feet. Okay. And just move all my stuff there out of the way. Okay, so 1 to 4 players, approximately 30 minutes a player, age 14 plus. Cephalofair Games, some of the character art there. And then, oh, crikey. Onto the back of the box. Welcome to Gloomhaven. Being a mercenary on the edge of civilization is anything but easy. For those stupid or brave enough to leave the relative safety of Gloomhaven's walls, adventure, wealth and fame await in wild and shadowy forests, snowy mountain caves and long-forgotten crypts. Just don't expect anyone to pay for your services up front, because no one expects you to come back alive. Gloomhaven is a cooperative game of tactical combat in a unique, evolving fantasy world. Each player will assume the role of a hardened mercenary with their own personal motives. Together, players will fight through a campaign of scenarios that reacts and changes based on the player's actions, creating a unique game state full of discovered treasure, retired adventurers, and permanent choices. Each scenario offers players deep tactical decisions where ability cards have multiple uses, and using the right ability at the right time can mean the difference between success and failure. Gloomhaven offers streamlined tactical combat without dice against fully automated enemies, each with their own unique behaviour patterns. In this box, players will find a fully realised fantasy campaign experience of unparalleled scope and depth. And following all that, I need a drink. Okay. Oh, I love a bit of Leffy. Right, so on the back here we have an overview of kind of what's in the box. So you've got 18 highly detailed plastic miniatures. As fairly standard, these come as just basically plain plastic for you to paint or not as you wish. Various cards for making up the various decks, standees to represent the monsters, board base pieces here. So over 1,700 cards, 47 different enemy types, and so on and so forth. Basically a whole lot of stuff, and they do it basically better than me, but I can definitely recommend going through the video overview here at gamingrules.com, because this is just going to be an unboxing that's going to give you a much better idea of what's in the game. That reminds me, actually, how much where are we? So appears to be going for somewhere in the region of sort of $100 and $120, which will presumably be pounds when it hits retail. So if you didn't back the Kickstarter, then A, shame on you, and B, you should be able to pick up a copy separately. Anyway, so I think we've waited long enough. I know I've waited long enough. This is my it's my third Kickstarter. I'm just going to cut the sealing tape on it. My first Kickstarter was the ill-fated Xano Nano Drone. That went well. My second Kickstarter was the Epic card game. This is my third Kickstarter, and I've got to say, Isaac, the guy who designed it, designed the game and ran the Kickstarter, absolutely textbook case for how a Kickstarter campaign should be run. Lots of updates during the whole process, lots of communication during the campaign stage, weekly updates post-campaign, keeping everybody up to date with how the process was in terms of finishing off the game, getting all the artwork and components together, getting them actually manufactured, which I thought was very interesting, dealing with the factories in China, and even the shipping process was well, poor guy seems to have had a bit of a nightmare with that, but along the whole, every step of the way, good news or bad, he's kept everybody informed, and I say it's exactly how one would hope a Kickstarter campaign would be run. Okay, so the inside of the lid is just white card. Put that safely down there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Yeah, the edge of the box is basically the map of the environment that you're going to be playing the game in. So party sheet. Here is where you can keep track of your party of characters, along with any notes and modifiers that you need to keep track of. Here we have the 120-page campaign book. So this basically gives you the run through of all the scenarios that you're going to play through. how to set up each scenario, where the different components are going to go, characters, goodies, baddies. So goodies are going to enter here, baddies here. Nicely taking into account multiple players, so it's between 1 and 4. Each of the hexes showing you where a baddie would be does show you whether it's going to be, depending on the number of players it's going to be, that piece will be there or not. So if you've got sort of, say here, where if you can see this has a white bit in the top right, black in the top left and gold on the bottom, that basically I think it's, I'm going to try and remember this. I think if it is white in the top right, I think that means if it's single player, then that piece isn't going to be there. If it's white, yeah, top left, I think is double player, and bottom I think is 4 players. I'm probably talking complete rubbish. I'm sure that's in the proper instructions, but anyway, each scenario will scale depending on the number of players that you've got playing it, and you've got your introduction, your text and so on. So that's 90-page book, as you can see, and there are 9, looks like, without, I don't want to spoil it for you or me, looks like 95 scenarios. So anyway, that should be enough to keep you going for, well, bloody ages, I think is probably the best way of saying it. Okay, here's the rulebook. Not that big, all things considered. 50 pages, and explaining all the different concepts and components and so on and so forth. Nice glossy material, glossy paper. I've already downloaded the PDFs and had a run through those. Seems to be pretty clearly written to me. As with most things, that probably make more sense once I've actually got the bits out on the table and playing. But anyway, again, there is a video available for you to watch. But anyway, that's the rulebook. So you'll be no doubt needing that a few times. But again, from what I've seen of it, it seems to be a pretty straightforward game and self-explanatory. Okay, the Town Records book. This is sealed to begin with. You won't be opening that until a certain point in the campaign tells you. So, as we can see here, it's, well, what would you say there? Small and perfectly formed. Yeah, best things come in small packages and all that. Okay, this is the map. Now, you may well be wondering why we have a map and also the general sort of board game pieces. The map is just to give you an idea of where the story is, where it's going, what impact you're having on the area around Gloomhaven, and as you go along you will fill in this map with stickers, which we will probably come to in a moment. So you can see lots of numbered areas on the map here. As you go along and start completing various scenarios in the game, this map will be updated with stickers to show you your progress through the game. Now that might sound a bit scary to some people. It's certainly a new concept to me, where normally most games you play, you know, once you finish your game and put it back in the box, then that's it. But with this, it's an ongoing campaign, so your changes will have an impact. Okay, now this looks like a little insert from Isaac. So basically he's saying, you know, this is bloody impressive, thank you for backing the Kickstarter. Okay, so, well, I might as well just read it out here. Alright, I just want you to take a second to behold the grand, hefty form of this game. The myriad cards, the numerous punch boards, the giant book of scenarios. This is my crazy vision, the game I dream about. It's a game that shouldn't exist, but you made it happen. I'm not a big company, and Kickstarter is not a pre-order system for me. The only way I could create this monstrosity was with your support, and for that I give you my deepest, most heartfelt thanks. You made my dream come true, and I'd like to show my appreciation for that. To the left you will find a simple substitution cipher key. Throughout the game you may find cryptic messages, and the key should help you discover their meaning. Now go forth and enjoy playing Gloomhaven as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks, Isaac Charles. Well, that's a nice touch. A little personal note from the designer there. Okay, so this will obviously, there'll be sort of secret messages, hidden messages throughout the game, and I will make sure not to lose that. Okay, here we have our first sheet of small stickers. These will modify certain cards and components as you go through the game. So as you get more experience or whatever, then you might find that you get a +1 or extra abilities on some of your components. These are various stickers that will go on the map board that I just went through. And these are some of the map modification stickers. So once we've presumably completed scenario 1, we will put this sticker on location 1 on the map, and so on and so forth. So again, that's, oh, and another sheet here. So yeah, this is an example of the persistent nature of the game. I'm not exactly sure sort of how possible it is to play the game afterwards. Once you've sort of completed it, how easy it would be to sort of go through and do it again. But anyway, here we have 3 sealed envelopes for opening at particular points of the game. So we'll keep those safely to the side. And oh, here we have a whole lot of cardboard. Oh, check out all that cardboard. Oh, crikey. That is a lot of components there. Quite a nice matte finish to the cardboard here. That is about 5mm cardboard, I think. Looks to be nice, cleanly punched. Nice artwork. So, yeah, that will be... Oh, some of those monsters look there. Wow, I've got to say, wow, the new game smell on this is incredible. Oh, that does smell good. Yes, sorry, getting a bit ahead of myself there. I need to find somewhere to put all this stuff now. Right, let's see, if I move those, there we go, I'll put that down there. Right, okay. Some foam, packing foam. Let's move this out of the way. And now I've been looking forward to seeing this. It's going to sound silly, but I've been looking forward to seeing the packing tray here, because again, another example of the thought and attention to detail that Isaac put into the Kickstarter. We actually had an update where he went through the hassle he had getting this insert, the black plastic tray here, the hassle he had getting that made. He'd put together a design which he felt sort of stored all the components and everything nicely. However, it turned out that the factory were having some issues sort of making it and understanding what he was trying to achieve, and they kind of came up with a scenario which made good use of space but didn't allow you to store the components in a sensible fashion. So they had a bit of back and forth, and this is the end result. It's sort of thin plastic, but not that super thin crinkly plastic you normally get. It feels like it should last. It should survive. Okay, so these are some of our, 1,700 cards. Let's have a look. So here we've got various monster deck cards. Here we have our actual monster attack cards. So these give you the different attack figures for the monsters that you're going to be facing in the game. And every time you are dealing with a monster, you take the relevant card from here, pop it into one of these sleeves, and you read off the relevant stats for the particular section. So if you're dealing with a bandit commander, that sleeve will go in there, and it basically hides these 4 sections and lets you read off the relevant numbers for whatever level of bandit commander you're dealing with. I thought it was quite a nice design. Now, just checking. I should have got this ready beforehand, but I think, yeah, okay, no, I think we should be okay. These, I'm gonna open up and check this. In terms of card sleeves, see again, never knowingly prepared. See, very well secured, these, very well packed. Hang on, I'm going to use a penknife. Okay, so as you can see, I'm having a bit of difficulty undressing this pack of cards. Unusual. Okay, so here are some just sort of regular Fantasy Flight narrow sleeves, and they are just a tiny bit too small. Yeah, a tiny bit too small to fit the cards, so I think we'll be needing some bigger sleeves for those. Never mind. There we go. So these are your attack modifier cards. So everybody has a deck of cards which basically tells you how powerful or not your attack is going to be, and then every time you mount an attack, you will draw an attack modifier card, which will basically, you know, it might give you a bonus, it might give you a bit of a hindrance, but again, it's another nice bit of random change that goes on in there. Standees for your cardboard monsters to stand up in, yellow for standard, gold for elite. And down here we have health and experience markers for five of each. Here we have our, again, these are, I think they're wood. Are they wood? Oh, they look like wood. Wood or plant, yeah. Elemental infusion discs, that's part for, I think that's part of the game. Obviously, that was a bit daft. These are your battle quest cards, I think they're called. So every time there is a battle, you will draw one of these cards, and if you achieve the challenge that's on the card by the end of the battle, then you get a bonus. More modifier cards, deck modifier cards. Loot and items and that sort of thing. More loot and items and that sort of thing. Here we have some cards, I forget what they are. Oh, and well, you know, just more cards, so road events or different other events that can happen during the game and you may or may not get a benefit for. City cards and some other deck cards here. And then finally we come down to, well, no, not quite finally, there's still a few more bits and pieces to go, but these boxes and these boxes are your characters. So let's just take this chap here as a starter. So inside each of these nice little boxes is one of the characters. Sort of a barbarian looking dude here. Are you gonna focus? There we go. Gotta say, these really are, yeah, very nice miniatures. Very detailed. You've got, you know, skull, knee, armour there. Skull, which is quite a nice touch. So quite a lot of intricate detail on here. If you're into painting your figures, then I can see you having a lot of fun with these. I mean, just look at the texture of that coat there and the detail on his shield. It's smooth on the outside with spikes on it, and then again, I don't know if you can see, but are you gonna focus? Yeah, well, you can just about see that there is detail of wood panelling on the inside of his shield there, so that is very nice. Okay, so each one of your characters has a little icon here, and all that will directly relate to one of the boxes down here. Now, at the beginning of the game, only the first 6, I think, yes, only the first 6 boxes are open. Beyond that, they're sealed. So these will be for characters that you unlock later on during the game. As you progress through the game, some characters will end up retiring, and as that happens, you will unlock new characters to play. And then in here we have all the various things that are specific to your particular character. So we have a character sheet. So this is the Inox Brute, or Inox Brute. We have his character card. We have his action cards. Again, these are in each of the boxes. We have his attack deck. We have some tokens, again with his logo on, and we have his progress pad, so that's where you're going to keep track of your character as you go along. So that is for each of the characters, no sort of generic stuff here. Every character gets his own set, or her gets his own set of components, which I think is a lovely touch, and it's going to make unlocking a new character more exciting, because you're going to get to open up another one of these envelopes and see just what goodies your new character is going to have. So I think it's probably fair guess that this is going to be some kind of musician or bard, but the others, well, maybe an engineer, maybe Link, a carpenter, ninja type person. Oh no, I said ninja, not Siri.
Okay, maybe not.
No. Oh, Green Arrow. And oh look, even Ubisoft get a mention. Anyway, that's quite enough of that. So there we have it, Gloomhaven, a rollicking big box of brilliance. That is just ah, crikey, that's a lot of stuff. That really is a lot of stuff. So well, there we go. Hopefully that has been interesting. It's certainly been interesting for me getting my first look inside the box. Again, just a shout out to Isaac Childres for putting together such an awesome Kickstarter campaign and running it very well indeed. It certainly yeah, sort of made me comfortable with backing any of his future projects. So yeah, there we go, look inside Gloomhaven. I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching.